aggression. That's what we want to see rather than talk about it. Yes.
If he did use a battlefield nuclear weapon, if he did do that, and there's no knowing what this man is capable of, what would be NATO's response? What would be Britain's response?
I'm not going to speculate about that. The point we're saying is that he is not being successful on the battlefield. That is inevitable. There is no victory for him in Ukraine. The Ukrainians have shown that. He must understand that. And what he now needs to do is withdraw those Russian troops, get away from Ukraine completely, and allow that country to start rebuilding itself. There is no way that he can have a military victory in Ukraine.
One of your colleagues said last week, or maybe it was a little more than a week ago now, that as far as he was concerned, Putin had gone full tonto. In other words, he was mad. Is that the position of the British government? Do we think that we are dealing with a psychotically disturbed leader of a nuclear state?
Well, the decisions that Vladimir Putin has made have been, terrible. Huge strategic errors. He thought he could roll into Ukraine and be welcomed with open arms, and what he has seen instead is a tenacious defence by the Ukrainians. At every stage, the strategic decisions he has made has been proven wrong. The best thing we can do now is, rather than speculate about his health, mental or otherwise, what we need to do now is make the message very, very clear that our response will remain robust. The sanctions will remain in place. The Ukrainians will continue to defend themselves. The only credible way out now is for him to end this invasion and withdraw Russian troops. That's what we will continue to push for.
Finally, the UK's top military commander, Sutomi Radakin, said last night that in his opinion, Russia's troops are in a complete mess. The invasion clearly isn't going well, and he thinks that actually Ukraine will prevail and will win this war. What's your feeling?
Well, the Ukrainians have reinforced what we always believed, which is they are tough beyond measure. As I say, I cannot see that Russia can have a military victory in Ukraine. The Ukrainians just won't let that happen. And we will continue to support them in their self-defense. So there can be, there must not be, there will not be a victory for Putin in Ukraine. Once you recognize that, once he recognizes that, the best thing that he can do to help the Russian economy recover, to help Russian standing recover, and to prevent more Russian body bags going back to families, is to end this war, end it now, and withdraw the troops from Ukraine.
James Cleverly, thank you very much indeed. Let's reflect on all of that with Andrew Marr. He's left, of course, the BBC, and he is joining tonight LBC, 6 o'clock this evening is his new programme. He's also one of the few journalists in Britain who has come face-to-face with the Russian president. Let's have a look at the moment. Andrew asked Vladimir Putin about independence.
In the United Kingdom, we are facing a referendum this year where the Scots are going to vote as to whether to leave the UK. I just wonder what message you might have to David Cameron in this very big year for Britain.
It's not a matter for Russia. It's a domestic issue for the United Kingdom. And now in Europe, the process of diluting national sovereignty in the framework of a united Europe is more accepted. But I believe one should not forget that being part of a single strong state has some advantages, and one should not overlook this.
Simple question, Andrew. Good morning to you. What's he like?
He was extraordinary. He's got this very famous cold stare that people talk about. But I would say, listening to him, because he was being interviewed then in lots of different languages, he's one of the cleverest men that I have ever interviewed. He may not be anymore, but he was then. I was in a slightly disturbed state myself because I just interviewed Elton John before I'd gone out to Sochi in Russia. And Elton, if you remember, there's a great big gay rights issue at the Winter Olympics. Suspicion that the Russians were homophobic. And Elton John said, "Oh, you're off to see Vladimir Putin." I said, "Yes." And Elton John said, "Well, give him a Donna Summer album and a kiss from me." And I thought, well, I can't really do that, but that was going around in my head as I was talking to Putin, so it was a surreal moment.
We've just discussed, and Richard put it